Let's talk about the evidence against Donald Trump in the criminal trial that is actually his worst nightmare that the media really isn't talking about. The media wants to push its narratives. This is a document case where evidence matters. Trump's lawyers know it. The prosecution knows it. The judge knows it. The jury knows it. Let me show you this piece of evidence right here that almost no one is discussing. And this is the United States government ethics disclosure form that Donald Trump signed on May 15th, 2018. This came into evidence during the criminal trial of Donald Trump when Jeff McConney, Donald Trump's controller, authenticated that this is Donald Trump's signature. It's a public record as well, so a court can take judicial notice of it. The jury has this document, and it clearly states that the payment to Michael Cohen was a reimbursement signed by Donald Trump. It doesn't get more black and white than this, folks. Take a look at this document, United States Office of Government and Ethics. You see Donald Trump's signature right there. You see it's dated May 15th, 2018. And take a look at the comments of reviewing officials. Right there, you see this note 3 on the very bottom. It says, Note 3 to Part 8. OGE has concluded that the information related to the payment made by Mr. Cohen is required to be reported, and that the information provided meets the disclosure requirement of a reportable liability. Let's go now turn to some pages that are later in this disclosure form right here. Let's take a look at what it says. If you go look at the very bottom of the liability sections right here, Part 8 of the disclosure form that Trump signed, it says, in the interest of transparency, while not required to be disclosed as reportable liabilities on Part 8, in 2016, expenses were incurred by one of Donald Trump's attorneys, Michael Cohen. Mr. Cohen sought reimbursement of those expenses, and Mr. Trump fully reimbursed Mr. Cohen in 2017. The category of value would be from $100,000 to $250,000, and the interest rate would be 0. Do you see it right there? It actually states that this was a reimbursement, and you see right there it is signed by Donald Trump. Also notable in this document, you may have heard us reference it in the past, and I think it'll come up in future issues with Donald Trump. You see number 14 right there on liabilities, Chicago Unit Acquisitions, LLC, which is a liability of over $50,000, and it's framed as a springing loan. Yeah, that was a phantom debt that Donald Trump had reported after reaching a settlement on the Trump building in Chicago after suing his other lenders. And we did prior videos about whether that phantom loan actually exists on Donald Trump's books at all, or if it was merely being described as existing so Donald Trump could take losses on his tax filings. And so just take note of that, because I think we'll be hearing more about that in connection with the New York Attorney General's civil fraud case and the work that's being done there by the court-appointed monitor. Let's go take a look at more of the actual evidence and records here. Take a look at this. These are the handwritten notes of Jeff McConney, which clearly shows how you got to the $420,000, make the payments at $35,000 a month when the payments would start being made in January of 2017. Do you see right here? You give the $50,000 bonus, then you have $180,000, which is the $130,000 payment that Cohen made to Stormy Daniels, plus that $50,000 payment to Red Finch to try to manipulate the CNBC polls. You just see Jeff McConney spelling it out right there. The reimbursements to be made to Michael Cohen, it's stated right there. Take a look at this. This is the handwriting of Alan Weisselberg, which was confirmed by Jeff McConney when Jeff McConney took the stand. By the way, this bank statement right here is from the First Republic account belonging to Michael Cohen. You see right there the $130,000 wire made from Michael Cohen's account that he opened up right here with this shell company he created called Essential Consultants LLC, care of Michael Cohen, to Keith Davidson and Associates PLC. It's the lawyer of Stormy Daniels, to pay Stormy Daniels right there. And then you see right here, it talks about on the bottom in handwritten notes by Alan Weisselberg, the $180,000, which is the $130,000 plus the $50,000 paid to Red Finch. You add the 130 and the 50, you get the 180. You then add an additional bonus right there, and that's how you get to the $420,000 amount right there. You see where it says you then gross it up, and then the same way you see in McConney's handwritten notes, you gross it up times 2 for taxes, it says. And part of what makes this a felony was that it was falsified to also then manipulate and unlawfully report what this actually was, what this payment was for tax purposes as well.
Ever feel like you need a little boost in the bedroom? Well, with Hims, you'll feel confident knowing that when you get an erection, you can maintain an erection whenever you're in the mood. Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Hims provides access to doctor-trusted ED treatment options, such as chewable hard mints, brand name treatments like Viagra, or generic alternatives for up to 95% cheaper. The process is simple and 100% online. No uncomfortable doctor's visits. Answer a series of questions on their site and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships to you for free. No insurance needed. Now, if ED is getting you down, it's time to join the hundreds of thousands of trusted Hims subscribers and get treated. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Meidas. That's HIMS.com/Meidas for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/Meidas. Hard mints are chewable compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
The jury also has this evidence right here. Donald Trump saying Mr. Cohen, an attorney, received a monthly retainer, not from the campaign and having nothing to do the campaign from which he entered into, through reimbursement, a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure agreement. And you see right there, Donald Trump's calling it right there, reimbursements, a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure agreement. Donald Trump was a party to that non-disclosure agreement, and he purported to be one when he sued Stormy Daniels and tried to force her into arbitration, tried to sue her for violating the non-disclosure agreement. There are multiple court records where Donald Trump states that these payments were reimbursements, and he confirms that in his own court filings. And why was he doing this at the time in 2018 and through 2020? Because he was suing Stormy Daniels to try to silence her. So take a look at this filing right here. This is a joint opposition to a motion filed by Stormy Daniels. And this was filed by both Trump and Michael Cohen. Take a look at this court filing right here. This is Trump's words through his lawyer. Trump's subsequent confirmation that he reimbursed $130,000 to EC. What's EC? Go back to the previous filings. You see it right there. Essential Consultants, LLC, Michael Cohen's shell company. And here Trump's saying this. Trump's subsequent confirmation that he reimbursed Essential Consultants $130,000 payment to plaintiff Stormy Daniels in 2017 doesn't change this finding. The critical issue that the court must decide in connection with the pending motion to compel arbitration is whether a valid and enforceable agreement to arbitrate was formed. So Trump is saying, we are confirming that $130,000 was reimbursed to Cohen, and you should still force Stormy Daniels into arbitration, and this should not be litigated publicly. The court then made a finding in 2020. Plaintiff has also submitted defendant and EC's joint opposition to motion of Stormy Daniels' reconsideration of the order staying this action filed June 1st, 2018 in the district court, in which defendant and EC admit and confirm that defendant reimbursed Essential Consultant for the $130,000 payment to plaintiff pursuant to the terms of the agreement. Thus, in their June 1st, 2018 opposition brief filed in this action, Essential Consultants and defendant admitted that the defendant, Donald Trump, reimbursed Essential Consultant for Essential Consultant's $130,000 payment. Then what else do we have? We have the checks. Donald Trump then making the payments, $35,000 a month, exactly what is stated in the handwritten notes by McConney and by Alan Weisselberg, the chief financial officer and the controller. We have a photograph of Donald Trump with Keith Schiller on the date and at the time when Michael Cohen said he called them and he spoke to both of them. We've got the emails. This is the email from the MAGA lawyer, Robert Costello, that pretended to be working for Cohen, but was actually representing the interests of Donald Trump, trying to be an intermediary to prevent Cohen from cooperating with the feds. Here's what MAGA lawyer Costello was confronted with during his cross-examination. This is what he said to Cohen. I spoke with Rudy Giuliani. It's Rudy. I spoke with Rudy. Very, very positive. You are loved. If you want to call me, I will give you the details. I told him everything you asked me to, and he said they knew that. There was never a doubt, and they are in our corner. Rudy said that this communication channel must be maintained. He called it crucial and noted how reassured they were that they had someone like me whom Rudy has known for so many years in this role. Sleep well tonight. You have friends in high places. Robert Costello, April 21, 2018. Here's another email from Costello. Michael, since you jumped off the phone rather abruptly, I did not get a chance to tell you that my friend has communicated to me that he is meeting with his client this evening, and he added that if there was anything you wanted to convey, you should tell me, and my friend will bring it up for discussion this evening. Speaking like a mafia intermediary right there. And so what I wanted to focus on here in this video is the evidence, is the documents. I bet you didn't even know, or you probably didn't even know about that United States Office of Government Ethics thing. The jury saw that. Donald Trump's signature saying that this was a reimbursement. Donald Trump's court filings saying that they're reimbursements. Donald Trump's social media posts on Twitter saying that it's reimbursements. The handwritten notes from Alan Weisselberg and Jeff McConney, the top financial people at Trump Organization at the time, showing how the reimbursements were made, how they were grossed up. And then here's what the jury heard in the opening statement from Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche. This is what the jury was told. Think for a moment of what the people just told you. President Trump, that's what they call him, did not pay Mr. Cohen back $130,000. President Trump paid Michael Cohen $420,000. And in the same breath, the people told you that President Trump is known as a frugal businessman, that he pinches pennies. Ask yourself, would a frugal businessman, would a man who pinches pennies repay $130,000 in debt to the tune of $420,000? So the very essence of what Trump's defense lawyers argued in their opening, or stated in their opening, even though they're not supposed to argue, stated in their opening, was that this was not a reimbursement, that these were legitimate legal expenses, and that none of this was going to be shown to the jury, as the prosecution just went document, document, email, document, document, record, record, document. Here it is. That's what the media should be talking about. They're negligent and not. But that's why I think it's important that we just go through the records one by one and let the records speak for themselves. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.